Hey guys, I'm here to talk to you about Darth Malak this week. This character is so frustrating to deal with, especially if you don't have him, which I know a lot of you don't. I think at this point, most people probably have a Revin, whether it's Jedi Knight Revan or Darth Revan. And if you have one of these characters, and the characters that go with them, obviously, along with Kylo Ren Unmasked and Jedi Knight Anakin, you can take out just about any Darth Malak team. It doesn't really matter, how much that Darth Malak team outspeeds you by. You can still beat them, and I'm going to show you the two comps that I've been kind of alternating between using them, and it requires no mod switching, which is really nice because I hate switching mods. It's so frustrating. So why don't we go ahead and get into it? So one of the teams that I am using is Darth Revan with HK-47, Bastila Fallen, Jedi Knight Anakin, and Kylo Ren Unmasked. So the big thing here with Kylo Ren Unmasked specifically is the fact that he takes reduced health from percent health effects, and that includes the special ability from Darth Malak that does damage equal to 100% of your health. It actually heals Kylo Ren Unmasked, so you don't have to worry about that ability taking out a character. And the great thing about Kylo Ren Unmasked is he has that auto taunt at the very beginning if you have him Zated, which is just absolutely perfect for these type battles, because going against Darth Revan, you really need that auto taunt in the very beginning because of his the ability that does fear. He will obviously target them and put fear on him and your leader, and then you have three characters left who do not have fear. And on this team, of course, I will have HK-47, Bastila and Jedi Knight Anakin not getting feared, allowing them to do what they would normally do. And so I think this team comp is optimal if you have one of these conditions. If your Darth Revan is faster than their Darth Revan, or if your Bastila Fallen is faster than their Bastila Fallen. I think Bastila Fallen being as fast as possible is a great strategy, because getting her corrupted battle notation out as early as possible is a great way to help you win, because it prevents them from inflicting debuffs, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and just jump into this first battle we have here. So this first battle was actually sent to me by Fa Fa Foo Hi from my arena. This is him actually fighting my arena team, and you can see how quickly the battle went south. He has I believe it's gear 5, gear 11, Darth Malak, and because I am able to outspeed him, I have a huge advantage here in the beginning, because I'm able to inflict all these debuffs, and it kind of gets a nice little train rolling of doing a lot of damage debuffs and not allowing them to do a whole lot. Kylo Ren really helps that out, because when you start doing all this AoE damage, especially from like Jedi Knight Anakin, Darth Malak will be going, and Kylo Ren Unmasked keeps him from really taking out anyone because of that auto taunt in the beginning, and then his special and his basic, whenever he uses basic on his turn at least, those abilities will allow him to refresh that taunt ability, which is really important. So this next battle here is another battle from him, in which he is attacking me, and this one he actually wins. So you see kind of how the battle goes and what he has to do to win. He's even like right now he's in kind of a negative position, for being on offense especially. So this team seems to work really well. It's been doing pretty well for me on defense. There are of course counters to it. I've had kind of a tough time against teams that don't have Darth Malak, but this team is so good against Darth Malak, because, Kylo Ren really doesn't help you against like any other team except for ones that have Malak. So keep that in mind whenever you're starting to build one of these teams. All right, so this next battle here is against another arena mate, who has a little bit under-geared Sith Trooper. So, I mean, you would kind of expect it would be easier to get through, that Sith Trooper. But again, this is one of those things where, because I have the faster mods, I'm able to inflict those debuffs and keep him from debuffing me. Ends up in a spot where he has to kind of keep attacking Kylo, even with Malak, and it's just not really an issue for this team. And of course, Jedi Knight Anakin, because of the bonus turns and all of that, he gets a lot of turns because the other team AoE is a decent amount and all that sort of stuff. So I am a really big fan of this team. Now, you run into a problem if you don't have good enough speed mods to outspeed, your enemy, whether it's Bastila Fallen or Darth Revan. So, if you end up in a position like that, we kind of have to change things, and we have to go to the other team comp that I'm going to talk about, and there are a few variations of it. This is the specific one that I like, and that is Jedi Knight Revan, Hermit Yoda, General Kenobi, Jedi Knight Anakin, and Kylo Ren Unmasked. This is a great team, and I love using it. It is a heck of a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about mods here for a second, because I haven't got into modding strategy at all yet. So let's go ahead and talk about Jedi Knight Anakin. He is modded entirely for offense. I have 3 offense primaries on him. I have a critical damage set bonus, a crit chance set bonus, and a crit damage primary triangle. Those are all sliced to 6 dot because that's obviously most effective. And I have a lot of secondary offense on him, as you can tell. And I basically have him modded like I would normally mod Grandmaster Yoda, other than the fact that he has crit damage set instead of the offense set. You could go offense set if, you're having issues landing crits or whatever, give you a little bit higher baseline, but you won't have quite as big of, large damage numbers, which you'll see here in this next battle. So I don't particularly worry about speed too much with Jedi Knight Anakin, due to the fact that he gets the bonus turns, and those bonus turns obviously can't really be prevented at the moment. And the fact that he does the 100% more damage is awesome on the AoE. So him being slow is actually a little bit of an advantage, because if you can let the other team go and let his first turn be on a bonus turn, you'll do significantly more damage with that first AoE than if he naturally fills his turn meter and gets to use that AoE. So that is one thing to keep in mind. I'll go ahead and talk about Kylo Ren Unmasked. I have him basically stacked up with as much health as I can possibly manage, because I don't like switching mods. This is how I mod him for Grand Arena and Territory War. But I think if you're really focusing on Arena and planning on using Kylo Ren Unmasked for Arena, I think going with more speed is definitely a good idea. I'm still going to want a lot of health on him, but because, his unique ability allows him to recover 8% of his max health whenever he gets damaged by an attack. So you do want a very large health pool, but you do want speed also, because him taking turns is the only way he can refresh that taunt. Even if he's ability blocked, though, his basic ability will give him taunt, but again, only on his turn. So loading him up with health, I think, is a really, really good idea. I go all health primaries on him, and I do have some mods, with some pretty good secondary speed on those that I do use, and, just about maximizing health, honestly. So the next character I want to talk about is Jedi Knight Revan, and this is kind of what I was talking about with the mod situation. So I have my best mod set currently on Bastila Fallen. And my Bastila Fallen is, we'll go ahead and go take a look at her, because speed's really all that matters on her. She's 302, so she is pretty fast. She goes before a lot of other Bastilashans, but there are a decent number in my arena that she doesn't go before. So I have a really good speed set on her, and then my Darth Revan is 325 speed. He has a little bit more speed than her, because I was experimenting with some mods. I should probably switch those back around. I believe in the videos y'all are watching, those I did have Bastila at 303. Not that really matters a whole lot, but Bastila going early I think is more important than Darth Revan. But both those characters you want modded for as much speed as possible. And the other thing is you want to mitigate additional health as much as possible, while still increasing the total health pool. So because Bastila gives that 70% bonus if you're using, say, a Darth Revan lead, you want to keep that health lower because it will get multiplied by less, and you'll take less damage whenever Malak does his special ability. So load up with protection, get a large protection pool, and that will allow you to, survive a few more of those attacks, since you have a larger percentage of your total health pool from protection rather than strictly health. I should probably talk about HK47 also. HK, all offense, basically. Offense set, offense primaries, crit damage primary, and, a health set. So he does have some good secondary speed, but that's not my primary focus. I want, a lot of offense on him. That way he can, absolutely slay whenever he gets, whenever he does his special abilities, because he is an awesome attacker. Now, so back to this Jedi team that I'm talking about. One thing I do like to do sometimes is, if you can speed General Kenobi up enough so that if you're using Hermit Yoda, that 5% turn meter that he gives on his basic, that fills up General Kenobi's turn meter, so that you can have, the mass attack from Jedi Knight Revan, and then have a mass attack from General Kenobi in which everyone's attacking. That's a really good way to try and take out a, say, HK or a Bastila Shan Fallen. You won't see that in this video. I didn't have Kenobi quite modded that fast, but simple way to do that, basically. So this team, for example, they will have 25 additional speed based on Jedi Knight Revan's leader ability, 4 Jedi, plus him being Jedi Knight Revan being Old Republic, 25 speed. So you'll take, say, Jedi Knight Revan's speed, add the 25 to whatever his base speed is. That'll be the speed that you want Kenobi going, in the beginning. So if you take that speed, that's the speed that you want General Kenobi going at. So you want to take General Kenobi's base speed, add the 25 from the leader to it, and divide that by 0.95, and you want that to be equal to the speed that Darth Revan's going, and that's basically how you would calculate that. And if that number is at or higher than Darth Revan's speed, then General Kenobi will be at full turn meter whenever Hermit Yoda gives out the turn meter, which will allow you to then turn around and do a mass attack with General Kenobi, which is always fun. So that's basically modding for the team. Hermit Yoda, you want, a lot of health on him. That way he can equalize with everybody. A lot of speed. That way he can go as often as possible. And all that sort of stuff. So the battle that I am about to show you was against my arena mate, Dark Diggler, whose team is absolutely ridiculous. So his Darth Revan is 324 speed. He is quite fast. He's 1 speed slower than mine, but this is where things get nuts. Bastila Shan Fallen, 309. That's absolutely insane. I can't get close to it. I don't have a chance at making my Bastila Shan go before hers. Like, there's no way to stop her Bastila Shan. One thing I've seen some people in my arena doing, actually, though, is using Grandmaster Yoda and having him be a little bit faster than Bastila Shan. That way he can give tenacity up. People are doing that even on a Darth Revan team, which seems to work actually pretty well. And that is another alternative. That's not in this video, but keep that in mind if that's something that you want to try out. And the other thing is Darth Malak, who is 317 speed. So this team is no scrub. It's got some absolutely ridiculous mods that I can't compete with, really. But we'll go ahead and jump into this battle, and you will see kind of how this thing goes. And this is, of course, me using my Jedi Knight Revan team with Hermit Yoda, Jedi Knight Anakin, Kylo Ren Unmasked, and my boy General Kenobi. So here we go. Let's see what happens. So in this battle, I'm going to mark HK47 first. I've actually had better luck marking him rather than Bastila Shan Fallen. Not sure that matters much. They're both very problematic. HK is the one that causes more trouble because he's the one that can really damage Kylo Ren Unmasked and take him out. He can also get rid of the taunt. So by taking him out of the equation, that is usually a pretty good way to go in, you know, the testing that I've done so far. Now, all right, so my Revin got wiped out, but I am going to turn meter swap with Hermit Yoda so that he can equalize the health and all that sort of stuff. And that's basically the idea of this team, is to protect Jedi Knight Anakin from getting taken out. So you have the 2 taunters, you have Kenobi, who will give out the crit immunity to Kylo, which can be pretty beneficial. And right here, you see Jedi Knight Anakin's AoE, and 100,000 damage on one, 81,000 damage on the other. I mean, these are pretty awesome numbers. And like I said, all offense, that's the strategy there. And of course, he does have Grandmaster's training, so he's going to do a ton of damage. And, you know, they end up finishing off the battle. This team, I would say, against this Darth Revan team, probably works 40-50% of the time. So sometimes it may take a turn or two, but, you know, without something like this, you really just don't even have a chance, because you'll almost never take a turn. Like, if I use my Darth Revan team against this team, I won't take a turn. It will completely wipe me out before I really get a chance to do anything at all. So that is why the Jedi Knight Revan is a really good way to go, because he does get that speed boost, and you know, you can get a really good advantage by going early. So hope you guys found this video helpful. Hopefully it gave you some things to think about and at least test out, and go try to take out some of those really tough Darth Malak teams. And make sure you check out and hit the subscribe button if you found this video useful. If you're not already subscribed, or you don't know who we are a weekly podcast, so make sure you check out our weekly podcast. You can find it on any of your podcast apps or right here on our YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out, and I will catch you guys later.